Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Coffee and Cannoli podcast, joined once again by the Putty Man over here on the side of my screen here. And right below me, we have Campo Reviews. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Well, hello. Hey, how's it going?
Anything to plug before we get on our merry way?
You can find me everywhere on the internet, Johnny Donuts 777. That's all it.
And I need to plug in my phone so it does not die. So that's what I'm plugging.
Wonderful. Yep. On that note, we are talking about RPGs. The next two episodes will be on RPGs. This one will be on the Western RPGs, and the next one will be on JRPGs. So we'll preface an RPG with the fact that RPGs are a game where you put yourself in the role of that character and you build them up from zero stats to basically an unstoppable force as the story progresses, where you level up a character. There's leveling up weapons. It's a lot of leveling up. Take a tabletop RPG is the same type of idea and bring it into the video realm. So with that out of the way, Campo, I'm going to have you start with your number 5 Western RPG.
Hold on.
Aha.
Unprepared. All right. Okay. So just so you know, my list sucks. So my number 5 is Mass Effect 2.
Great game.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. Buddy.
My number 5 is capped, and it's Destiny 1 and 2.
See, that's another
There will
good
be
choice.
no Destinies on my list.
Well, mine is capped as well, and I have 2. This one's more of a tactical RPG, and that's Shadowrun Dragonfall. And the other one is a true RPG in every sense of the word, and that's Fable.
Well, Fable actually was at number 5, but yeah.
Campo.
Oh, already? Wow.
Mhm.
Wait, Putty didn't go, did he?
Yeah, he
I
did.
said Destiny 1 and 2.
Oh, crap.
And then
All
you
right,
said there's no Destiny.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I didn't originally have this caps, but I'm just going to do it now. It's a Fallout New Vegas and Fable. Because I forgot about Fable.
Fable.
God, I have a lot of caps here. All right. Literally, yeah. Anyway, my number 4 is Mass Effect 1 and 2.
And there you go.
No,
My
3.
number 4, I'm sticking with that Bethesda theme, and it's Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion and Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, it's me again? Wow,
Yeah,
this
you
is going
again.
fast. All right, my number 3 is I'm just gonna say it's both of them. Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny because this is the opposite day for all those later on. Anyway, my number 3 is again I caps until 1, basically what I'm saying. Number 3 for me is Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I put those together.
It tells a cohesive story, the two of them. They go hand in hand. My number 3 is a BioWare double hit, and that's Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition.
I haven't played Dragon Age, so unfortunately, yeah.
Dragon Age is fantastic. Go play Dragon Age.
It's just time.
My number 2 is as caps because I just decided it, and that's Oblivion and Skyrim.
Oh my god, that's your number 2.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I love one of these. One of these had to come out because I actually hated it. Mine is cap 2. It's Elder Scrolls Skyrim and Morrowind. I hated Oblivion.
Yeah, I find Oblivion was the far superior game. Morrowind was fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
I agree with you.
I feel Morrowind was better than Oblivion. I hated Oblivion. I took it back and I got the collector edition when it first came out, and I literally sold it back to them. I just didn't like it. I think
it was also kind of broken when it first came out.
That's probably why. Yeah.
There's that whole there's the whole meme with the voice recording lady who just like cuts herself. I'm gonna throw that line out, and then she repeats the line, and they kept it in the game.
There's so many things though in Skyrim that are just as effed up.
I mean, I guess so, but I did kind of get
like glitching people that are like folding into themselves as they're talking to you.
That is true. I did get Skyrim a little bit later, but not because I didn't want to. It's just
when you level up your dragon shout and you dragon shout somebody off a cliff and they just fly infinitely across the stream.
Yeah. Oh, for my list, I absolutely put MMOs were out of the question.
Well, okay, go ahead.
I mean, in the broad sense. Continue.
There is one on my honorable mention only because it needs to be mentioned, but I guess it's my number 2, right?
Yeah.
My number 2 is The Witcher 3.
Yeah. I already know what Putty's number 1 is.
You all know.
So my number one is I went way off the board with this, and I don't care because it's probably my top 3 games of all time, and I picked BioShock 1 and 2. It's not what you would traditionally call an RPG, but
It is.
to defeat it, I made sure I Googled it 1,000 times, and everywhere it says that it's an RPG.
It is considered an action RPG. You're leveling up your powers.
Yep.
If there's some form of leveling up, I would consider that an RPG. At least
where I have a game on my honorable mentions where when I look them up, it says that game is more of an FPS and not as much of a RPG, and this one says it's more of an RPG and less of an FPS. So I love these games and I just want them on the list. I don't care how you feel.
No, I agree. BioShock, it's a fantastic series.
I do not like The Witcher. Continue.
Okay. To each their own.
Okay, so remember last time we did a list, and I put this on my number 1 on that list as well, and you guys said I capped it. But you guys kind of convinced me that the first one was totally better, so I decided not to cap it. Campo, you want to say what number 1 is for me? You said you know.
No, you tell me.
Okay, fine. It's Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. I could have guessed that.
It's the same as mine. Same as mine. One is far superior to the second one.
I feel like it's just put them both.
Too, and I still like to cap it, but you know what? I look back and I was like, yeah, I when you literally played the first one over and over again, just because you want to see different, even the slightest changes. I put so much time into it. I didn't put much time in the second one, even though I still love the second one. But that one, man, that time I put in there. Whew.
I think what holds a lot of love in people's heart for the first one is the fact that it was something different. It was something new. It's something we haven't done before in a game.
It is better.
It is. The story is much better too, and the twist at the end is.
That was the one thing that
Yeah.
It was one of those things that back then you didn't have the internet, so like you were taking your own pace, and then when you were like, oh my god, this whole time it was just one of those things that like I remember my jaw dropped when I realized, because I thought I was looking for the person that was me all along. Does that make sense? Like it was just like, and it was just such a
don't want to spoil it because the remake's coming out soon.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm actually holding back. I'm excited to do the remake and I want to stream the whole thing. And people have been like, really? That's going to be boring. I go, for you, not for me. That's what I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
I don't care. Hopefully it's not, they didn't change what we talked about before, JD, but you know.
Yeah, I think there's going to be, I don't know. The person who wrote it says they never played KOTOR.
That makes sense. You know, like that makes sense. Yeah,
it's the same girl who did the Captain Marvel run recently.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Sam Maggs, I think it is.
Let's get the person who wrote Ghostbusters to write the new Batman movie, because that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I save my judgment until I play it. So
yeah, I'm gonna wait, but I'm still gonna just be mad about it, even if I like it.
I'm not a troll.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't know. What are we doing now? Are we just opening it?
Do you want to go through? Let's go through our list one more time.
All right. So I got Mass Effect 2, Fallout New Vegas caps with Fable, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Oblivion and Skyrim, and BioShock 1 and 2.
I've got Destiny 1 and 2, Mass Effect 1 and 2, Fallout 3 in New Vegas, Elder Scrolls Skyrim and Morrowind, not Oblivion, and Knights of the Republic.
That's wrong, but my number 5 is Shadowrun Dragonfall and Fable. Number 4 is Oblivion and New Vegas. Number 3 is Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition. Number 2 is The Witcher 3, and number 1 is Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay, so
if you came for the list.
If you came for the list, that's the list. Just
See ya.
go away. All right. So my I forgot my English. So my honorable mention, my real honorable mention, which I like to stick to this formula here, is a caps. No kidding. It's Dragon Age Origins and Inquisition. So those are both really close to making my list. And my issue here, just in general, with Western RPGs, is they're really rooted in like some sort of mythology that's like real. So like medieval times or like
space
like
exploration.
Yeah, or they're
post-apocalyptic
shooters. Most of them
post-apocalyptic.
yeah, but most of them like the large majority of Western RPGs are FPSs that are looter shooters, but are just a little bit leaning towards RPG to the point where they're not really looter shooters anymore.
Something like a Borderlands.
Yeah,
that's something I mentioned.
That's why when I always argue with my brother, traditional RPG. To me, an RPG is a JRPG. They're the first ones that invented RPGs, and that's what an RPG is.
The turn-based,
it's a turn-based, a fighting game where it kind of is in a mythological place, but it also has sci-fi and fantasy, and it's all smashed into one. Where like Western ones have to be focused on one subject for some reason that I find so strange. But yeah.
It's true though. Like Mass Effect, it's like the guys who did Mass Effect and Dragon Age and Knights of the Old Republic, it's all BioWare. And funny enough, Obsidian Software did both New Vegas and Knights of the Old Republic too.
Wow.
Yeah. And they also did a game that's on my honorable mentions list, which is it is a type of RPG, but you're right though. It's like they stick to that one trope and that's it. They don't add any of.
You have Chrono Trigger, which is like it's like The Witcher and Mass Effect and some other shit all crammed into one.
And Doctor Who.
But that's JRPG though. That's not.
Western. But that's what he's saying about the JRPGs compared to the Western RPGs, right?
They're more versatile.
Yeah, like even a game like Final Fantasy V, where it's like you take magic, you take machines, you take like all these different elements. You're fighting with swords, but you're fighting with guns too.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy VII is like in the future, but you fight like you're from the past, but you also have magic powers, and it's like I don't know.
And these magic little rocks that you have to put in your equipment.
But see, I also want to defend that because the thing is if we're going to look at it that way, there have been games out there that were breaking that mold back even in the Super Nintendo age. I mean, an example, Earthbound, aka Mother 2. You know what I mean?
But that's a JRPG.
Well, no, I know. But my point whole thing is it's still breaking. It's being different than what a traditional JRPG is known for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my whole point. Is that's the reason why I defend it. I understand where you guys come from because, for example, let me tell you two that's on my list that kind of are out there, and I put them on there because they're my honorable mentions. One, it's a crappy mess, but when I played just a little bit of it, I understood where they're going, and that's Cyberpunk 2077. It's a mess. It's a mess, but the concept.
I love that game.
Yeah,
it was a good game. Yeah, I played it. Go watch the playlist in my videos.
And then the other one would be Dying Light. That is,
I don't like that game.
See, I love Dying Light. It has a very different type, but it definitely has a lot of RPG elements in it. And I like the way it's set up more in a crafting instead of like upgrading magical. But that's my whole point is like we're expanding when it comes to the world of RPGs. Of course, we're always going to look at the JRPGs because they did start that.
They set the mold for it. Yeah,
they set the mold. But I mean, now it's such a hard thing to put RPGs in one bubble because of
But that was my argument before with my brother. That basically, if you go by 2021 standards, every single game you play is an RPG.
It's open world. It's like leveling up a character.
In Battlefield, I'm playing as a guy, and I have to level up my character and get attachments. So that's an RPG.
But
you're putting yourself in the role of that character that you're playing.
Basketball, they're all RPGs.
But see, here's where I kind of agree and disagree on both ends, and I'm right in the middle of it. The one thing that makes RPG in my eyes is when you're putting yourself in it, you're not putting yourself in a situation where the whole story is open to an open interpretation, like a sports game where it's like there's no story. It's just basically you're getting the ranks up and you're leveling yourself up.
Have you played the 2K series lately? It's a story written by Spike Lee.
Wow.
Was it the last of Spike Lee? Or
they all have it now except hockey. Hockey's the only one that doesn't have a storyline.
Even the WWE 2K games.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm not arguing. I get what you're saying, buddy, 100%. But it gets to a point where it's like
the lines are blurred now.
To me, an RPG has to be a JRPG or like a BioShock game. And anything that differs or Fallout. Once you start getting out of those molds, you're not an MMO. I know it's MMORPG, but that's a whole genre on its own because you're doing that. And like Minecraft, I wanted to put Minecraft on this list, but when you think about it, Minecraft is so many different games at once that like you can't be put in a category.
It would be Minecraft can even be put in the same vein as The Sims.
Yeah,
because you're
Minecraft
crafting
could
and you're
be in
building.
everything. It could be an
Yeah.
action adventure. It could be crafting. It could be
Oh, yeah.
RPG. It
But
could
like
be it's so many things.
prime example, Destiny 1 and 2. I know you guys might have been apprehensible, but like if you guys are using the elements of like magic and everything, Destiny did play on that a lot of the whole magic and even the guns and swords and everything.
I'm not taking away that it's an RPG. It is.
Yeah, but that's my whole point.
But it's an RPG disguised as a looter shooter.
I mean, but
but I mean, no, it's pretty RPG. I played the second one, and I will give it to that. I played the second one for a really long time.
And
sorry, go.
But I was gonna say it has an MMO feel, where it's
more of an MMO.
Yeah, but it has the raids and everything, the stuff that you go together. But it has the big boss battles. That's where okay, there we go. That's the line I could draw, is the big boss battles. I feel like RPGs bring more to the table, where you have the element of growing, but you also have the big boss battles that you're leading up to, heal potions, things of that nature. That's something like GTA or these sports don't do. Does that make sense?
There's a grind. There's a grind involved to it before you get to the big bad.
Exactly. And see, that's where you can even say Westerns still do that. Fallout, those things. Remember the big creatures you have to fight in Fallout, that you had to get the good weapons and make
the Mirelurks.
Exactly. That's my whole point. It's still something that everyone talks the blurred lines. That's a prime example where I could say you could say it and still not be the JRPG, if it makes sense. I didn't know where I could find it, but I think I figured out in my sense how I feel.
Yeah, I can.
And that's fair. But like my only argument about it was, if you talk to Nikki about it, it's every single game is you can't argue anything with him because every game is an RPG.
So I might even argue the Sony Spider-Man game is an RPG.
I mean, it technically kind of is. You do level up. I was close to asking if I could put that on the list. But,
I was thinking about that kind of stuff too.
Like Minecraft would have been number one if I could have put Minecraft, but I felt like Minecraft shouldn't be there, and I feel like MMOs deserve their own list. Destiny 2 was a fine game, but it's like it's too messy and it wants to bring you back, and I don't feel like a traditional any type of RPG should have to have content that you have to wait for. And Destiny will make you wait 5 years to finally get to the end of the game because you have to keep waiting for the new things to come out.
Because Destiny is more of a live service game than an RPG.
It's like an MMO more than it is an RPG. But I think it's still fair to be on this list.
Like the Avengers game.
Yes, like the Avengers game.
Which Spider-Man just came out and I still haven't played yet.
I was really close to. It's on my honorable mentions, whether you like it or not. I have Marvel Alliance. On my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I would consider that an RPG too.
Yeah,
I would. On my honorable mention, I had to put a game that's a little bit more recent, and that's Outer Worlds.
I've never played that. I want to play it.
Outer Worlds, it's basically the spiritual successor to New Vegas. If you like New Vegas, you'll like this game.
That's what I heard.
Once again, it's Obsidian Software.
I'm going to like that a lot then, because that's basically the only real Fallout that I've played.
Which basically now is owned by Microsoft's. It's owned by Microsoft now, Obsidian.
Of course.
So
Microsoft owns friggin' everything.
Yes, they do.
Now you did say Fable. I did put Fable and Fable 2 in honorable mentions. But another one you guys haven't said, and I didn't know if it's considered, I put Diablo 2.
That's MMO.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to, like, I would rather do a whole list of just pure MMOs.
MMOs, yeah.
Do a lot of them. There's Dota and like all that stuff.
Well, that's the problem. Because the thing is, I played some of those, but I didn't grind. Like World of Warcraft, I only played a little bit, and that's where the line goes blurred for me. Because again, Destiny would be an MMO, but then you can even call like, I'm not talking about Fortnite Battle Royale, but Fortnite Save the World could be an MMO. You know what I mean? Because you're not leveling up actually you are leveling up the characters. What am I talking about? You actually have
but you don't gain anything by leveling up in
Fortnite.
You don't. Your character doesn't get more life or better weapons.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, the way
in Save the World, it does.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what he's. Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to argue.
It's not an MMO.
Yeah, it is. You play with your friends and you fight against the Storm King and you have your smaller battles.
That game sucks. Fortnite does not talk about Fortnite.
But my point to the whole thing is that's my whole point. Is I'm not saying that it's good.
I thought Save the World was a single player game this whole time.
No,
so did I.
No,
in all honesty, I thought they abandoned that concept.
No, I still get V-Bucks and everything. I play it every single day and get V-Bucks from every day to buy skins on the Battle Royale part. Yeah, I still level up my characters.
Getting skins for his V.
Huh? That's
Skin
but
for your
it
V?
costs too much money. It costs too much money to buy all that stuff in Battle Royale. I had to grind for V.
All right, okay, I'm
Ask-
cutting you off. And
On that note,
ask
On
some of
that
the people
note.
you know, like Fat Cat in the chat. You guys know what I'm talking about. I have a lot of skins.
Well, where
but
have
I
you
need
been, Fat Cat?
yeah,
Um,
MIA.
okay,
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
say one because this is the last one that's really on my list. This is the one that I was talking about when I researched them. It's Borderlands 1 and 2. Where
It's in my honorable mentions.
everybody said it's not an RPG, it's a looter shooter. So I'm accepting that it's not, but I'm still putting it here. And
But
I
it
don't
has,
care.
but it has a level tree and everything too.
It
That's
does, but it's more based in looter shooter than it is in leveling up. Like it's about grinding for weapons more than it is about leveling your character up.
And going back and replaying the main bosses just to get that legendary or to get that, yeah. I think,
but
even Borderlands, like what's his name, the weirdo there, the magician there.
Oh my god, I don't remember his name.
But
I just know Claptrap.
Yeah, he even says like he goes, it's in the ads. It all says it's the greatest. Like they claim to be the greatest looter shooter of all time. It's all about the loot. It's all about the loot. When Borderlands 3 came out, that's all they kept talking about. They never mentioned the fact that there's so many skill levels and so many different skill trees to go through.
I'm having it on my list. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree.
Putting on Destiny, I'm getting Borderlands.
I'll allow it just because I love Borderlands so much.
Yeah.
Anything else? I got a couple more.
Go.
You guys got everything I said.
I have Deus Ex.
That's a good one. I never played it all the way through though, so I couldn't put it on my list.
I put Deus Ex on there. I put and the last one I have on there as well was another Bethesda game, which is Prey.
That's a good game. Also, never played it all the way.
Mm-hmm.
In that era of gaming, I did a lot of start a game and never complete it.
And never finish it.
I find it funny that I didn't know if it actually came in. I guess it's a hack and slash. But I'll ask you. Well, I guess I've never really played it, so I don't know. Is there a skill tree in the crap? What's it called? The game that's like the hardest game. The one that's the
Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's an RPG.
I would put that as an RPG.
Okay.
I would put that as an RPG.
You need
Bloodborne
to grind
but From Software is not. They're not Western, are they? Isn't From Software Japanese?
If you look up Western RPGs, it's everywhere.
Okay.
Dark Souls. I think it's just that. That's like its own genre now. It doesn't even have to be made here. Like
it's just
like turn-based gaming is like JRPG, whether or not it's a JRPG.
Yeah,
which is funny.
But
too,
Dark Souls spawned their own genre in the Soulsborne series.
Yeah.
Right. Like what?
Well, no, sorry.
You just thought of Bloodborne. But
no, not that. That's not good.
But like, I mean, now there's a whole genre based on that. Like you have, you have Bloodborne, you have Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Sekiro. I would even argue some elements of Ghost of Tsushima have that type of.
That's a friggin' good game.
Fantastic.
That should have won Game of the Year. I'm still baffled that it didn't win Game of the Year. But
the one that just popped in my head, and actually, someone actually got it for me for Christmas as a gift, kind of, but Guardians of the Galaxy. I know that's odd me saying that, but let me say why. It's actually a turn-based game.
Well, everyone's saying it's really good.
Yeah, basically what it is.
The fighting gets a little repetitive. I'm almost finished it now, but
you can see where I'm saying that it has that RPG element to it.
There's waves of enemies that you have to fight, progress the story. The end of the chapter gives you a big boss to fight at the end.
The Arkham games are also kind of.
Which one? Sorry?
The Arkham series is also kind of an RPG.
By the way, JD, you need to try to force a Rickroll on that if you can.
I've already done it.
Okay.
I've already done it. Yeah. I got the achievement and everything on it.
I haven't done it yet because I haven't gotten much time on there, but I can't wait to do it. I've already seen it online. I was so upset that I didn't find that out myself. But yeah, that's so amazing. So, but
I think it's pretty easy to do. I think the Rickroll is pretty easy to do. Just mess up the huddle.
Yeah, but don't you have to have a specific song? Like, isn't it like a specific thing you have to set it up in, or it doesn't matter which one you mess up?
I don't know if it has to be a certain order, but it's just mess up the huddle.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Which again, way better than Marvel's Avengers. I'm going to say that 100%.
Honestly, if you have a chance, John, go play.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, go play it.
Did you know that on Black Friday? How long before Black Friday did it come out? Like 2 weeks before Black Friday.
It was on sale for like $30.
Half price.
Yeah,
dude. I literally have From Zero to Hero as one of my songs that plays on my radio when I stream every single day, because that music on there, not the 80s music that's actually on there, but the actual Star-Lord band is amazing, and it's copyright free too, so you can play it on your videos and don't get
it's a really, really good, because I bought it on my Xbox One and then it went on sale on Steam for like $20. I'm like, yes.
So amazing. Oh, so great. Yeah.
But I know the Guardians. I would put Guardians in the same vein as as Marvel. I would put Guardians in the vein as like a Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Same type of idea. Like you only control Star-Lord, but
you have to basically like you have to work.
But you have to work together with your teammates. Yeah. So
I would play it.
Yes.
I'll play it. Okay. I'll fucking play it.
And if nobody has anything, I think that's it.
I just thought of that when Guardians came in my head, so I had to bring it up.
There it is. And that's a fairly recent game. So on that note, guys, thanks again for joining me, and we'll see y'all next time.